Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this week's update and patch notes. This week we had the Woodcutters Grove come out, so I'm going to be showing that and giving my thoughts on it. It's pretty good overall, but there are a few small little, things that make it not as good as it could be, which I hope they polish out with the future updates. But basically, here at the fort, the grove is outside your base walls, which is interesting, and it's over here to the east. So what you have to do is there's a new person that starts right here that you have to talk to, whose name is unknown when you first walk in. You talk to them, then you are able to build the original tier 1 of the grove by talking to Bill and then making the blueprint. And then you have to build this gate here, which allows you to go through it to get to the grove a little bit easier, although still not super easy. And also it's weird that it's not an actual door. It's like you just teleport through it. So that's not ideal. Then once you've built that, you can do tier 2 and tier 3 of the grove. And that brings me to the first point of the update, which is something they did pretty savagely to anyone who is coming to play in the future or who was lazy on upgrading their fort. They've made the fort much, much more expensive to upgrade. The tier 3 of the grove requires 48 mahogany frames alongside the stone things, which are inconsequential essentially. So they've made everything take a lot more, but they've also introduced into the game new planks and refined planks of every wood type almost. As you can see, there's maple planks here, acacia, and then you have the mahogany, then yew, magic, and even elder. So that's kind of interesting that they've done that, but they're not used anywhere else in the game. You can't go build things in your POH with elder planks, I don't believe, unless they let them use as substitute for the highest tier, which was previously mahogany. I don't think they do, though. And then obviously the refined levels as well, because there are now the need for these levels of frames for some of the buildings. So yes, there are now elder frames required for several of the tier 3 buildings. As you can see, 70 elder frames for the guardhouse. I think the command center is even more, 80 elder frames, and that's with 12 logs per frame, meaning you need 960 elder logs to upgrade the command center to tier 3. So it's pretty brutal compared to what was previously something around along the lines of like 200 or so teak or mahogany logs to upgrade these buildings. So yeah, they made it way, way more expensive. I kind of agree that it was probably a little bit too easy to upgrade these buildings to their max level, considering how much benefit they provide and the little things that they can get you passively that are just always helping you out as you play. But to spike it up so hard, it's pretty brutal for anybody who, like I said, didn't take advantage of the, early bird rates on these building materials and get it done before this update. But that is now the standard, and that is going to, thankfully I did do that. I upgraded all the buildings here to tier 3 before this update, so I didn't get destroyed by that. But yeah, that's basically the first thing. I think it's kind of weird that they just did that, but it makes sense a little bit. They also use that as an opportunity to increase the construction XP rates for a lot of these things. So you'll be getting, I think it's around 330k construction XP for the tier 3 command center with those 80 frames. So that's kind of a lot. I don't know if it's going to be good construction XP, but for Iron Man, it's really not an option considering cutting elder logs takes quite a while. Although as of this update, it's not as bad as it used to be. I've been mainly chopping elder logs since the update to try and get my hatchet pieces. Haven't gotten any yet. I've probably gotten maybe 20 to 30 bird's nests, so hoping to get one soon. But let me see. Where's my elder? Yeah, so I've probably chopped a little over 800 elder logs, so it is a lot faster now to chop them even without the brand new hatchet. But we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into the updates. So yeah, as far as everything else goes, let's head over to the Grove. That's talking about the things that changed on the fort. But here we have the tier 3 version of the Grove. There's this little cabin here that is like changes in appearance a little bit, but there's nothing really in here to do. There's no bank chest out here or anything. So it's like one of the first buildings you can build that doesn't have a bank chest, I guess, outside the guardhouse or whatever. But yeah, tier 1 barely has anything. There's like just the regular trees out there, I think. I don't think you even have anything else. Maybe you get willows as well, way down there by the shore. But yeah, tier 2 then brings in, if the willows weren't there for tier 1, definitely brings in the willows. I think maybe the U's as well, but those might be tier 3 exclusive. And then tier 3 brings in the elder tree as well, which is nice to have there. There's also a new tree patch here for farming, which you get at tier 2, as well as this fairy ring, which I think has code BJP or something. Kind of weird that there's a fairy ring here, since it's here and not like, it would be nicer if it was deeper into the grove, closer to the elder tree, because I mean, the lodestone is within eyesight right over there in the corner of my screen. So it's not that big of a help to getting here. And it would just be a little bit nicer if it was moved further into the grove itself, since that would be more helpful. The grove actually looks really good. I mean, the modern versions of trees are nice. And then there's also these, is there just one of them? I don't know if there's one or a few, but these pretty good looking stags walk around the place, which kind of adds to it a little bit, you know, gives it that little bit of touch of realism or whatever, to have them wandering around in the forest. So I'm a fan of that. And the cabin is okay. I think ivy as well spawns here at tier 2 or something. A lot of people are doing that for attempts at bird's nests, but yeah, that's pretty much it. A nice addition to the fort. Pretty large area that they added, so I'm a fan of that. Interested to see what they add next. I'm not sure how long this is going to go on for. I think this is going to be like the main focus until necromancy comes out, and then I don't know if they're just not going to add anything to the fort again after that, or how long we're going to be upgrading this thing. But it's getting pretty cool. You know, the buffs themselves aren't that great overall, but they are not too bad. For the general, you know, things that you do in the game. A lot of them are pretty specific though. But yeah, for this building, the buffs are as follows. Let me just get to them really quick. So at tier 1, okay, it's normal and oak trees at tier 1. And then you also unlock the ability to store log spirits in the wood box. I'll talk about the wood box in a little bit. And then also there's these log piles, which I forgot to mention. There's these log piles in the Woodcutters Grove here. There's a few around that you can use those to just deposit logs straight to the bank from there. So you don't have to run to the bank or use porters or anything if you don't want. And also at tier 1, when you get a bird's nest while woodcutting, it'll automatically go into your backpack. So yeah, not a lot really for tier 1. Tier 2 adds the willow trees, yew trees, and the ivy, adds the fairy ring and the tree patch, as well as allowing bird's nests to be stored in your wood box, and they'll automatically be put in there when you find them while woodcutting. So again, just more so upgrades to the grove itself rather than extra passives. And then lastly, at tier 3, you get the elder tree, and then you can get the Imcondo hatchet pieces from bird's nests. So that's pretty cool. They also have that bird's nest obtained from woodcutting after you get tier 3 will have improved rewards. It's kind of weird. There's like bird's nest plus. They have a plus next to them. I don't really know how much better the rewards are going to be, but I don't think it's going to make that big a difference, since bird's nest has never been that great for rewards, except for way back in the day when magic seeds were 400k and that was like half your bank. But yeah, there's of course the cool addition of the tier 80 hatchet. All the hatchets have been rebalanced as well to line up with just levels of 10, as most things do now. So, you know, level 10 is iron hatchet and stuff like that. And this also applies to their woodcutting tier. So previously, dragon hatchet was not like tier 60 for woodcutting. It was, you know, I think it was tier 50 something, 55. And then crystal was like 57.5. So it was like barely an upgrade between the tiers there of hatchet. So they've made it much better now, so that it's more worth it to get the upgrades, and it's a lot quicker to woodcut with the tier 70 crystal hatchet as opposed to before. You can definitely see the difference. You can usually get like almost a full, if not a full inventory of logs from a single elder tree, which was just not possible before. And then obviously it'll be even better with the tier 80 Imcondo hatchet. And how you get it, as it was mentioned, you need to get it from bird's nests. And it seems to be pretty rare to get a piece. There is bad luck mitigation on it, apparently. So every time you get a bird's nest that doesn't contain a piece, you have an increased chance after that. So there's a little bit of bad luck mitigation there. Like I said, I've probably gotten 20 to 30 bird's nests, haven't gotten a piece yet. It's very, very nice if you can have the tree shaking scrimshaw, which increases your chance for bird's nest by 300 or 400% if you have the superior version. I unfortunately haven't done that scroll at my ports, as it was not important prior, but would be nice to have that now. But yeah, definitely recommend that if you're trying to get this new hatchet. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much the main parts of the update. There's the new grove, all the new planks for upgrading the fort that they've changed quite a bit. Lastly, of course, we do have the wood box, and this is one thing that's a bit less good with the update compared to what I was hoping for. The wood box here can store logs, of course, and then once you've upgraded your grove a bit, it can also store bird's nests and these wood spirits, which are basically stone spirits but for wood cutting. They just give you an extra log when you have them in your inventory and you're chopping that type of log. And unfortunately, even though they go into your wood box, they currently don't get consumed if they're in your wood box. And it turns out really dumb, because if you're chopping logs and you are using wood spirits, and then you want to fill your wood box with logs to continue chopping, as you can see, say I'm chopping willow logs here. I have, a full limit of willow logs and my spirits are still here. I click fill, it'll put the spirits in there as well. And I don't even know if there's any way to just put logs themselves directly into it just by using them on it. Let's see. That does work, so I guess that's maybe a workaround. Let me make sure that that doesn't steal the spirits away as well, since that would be kind of funny. Okay, so you can use the logs directly on the box to have that happen, but in my opinion, they should just work from the box itself, because otherwise it's kind of not, if there's almost no point that they can be stored inside of it. And this is probably the main thing that I'm sad about with this update, when you put it in your bank, it just empties out. So watch, I'll put this in my bank, and as you can see, the spirits are back there. These bird's nests are here, so you can see these bird's nest pluses here, so kind of weird. And it's empty. Now, that's the way the ore box functions, of course, but that was never really an issue because A, the ore box can't store stone spirits, which people are going to want now that this thing can store the wood ones. But B, there's also the metal bank. So you don't want the stuff to go in your bank anyway, so you'd be emptying it into your metal bank, which is separate storage and doesn't take up bank space. But with this, obviously, for these stones, these wood spirits, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I thought it would function differently. Maybe because it can store the spirits. Like, why would it not keep them when you put them in the bank? I don't know. I didn't really relate it to the ore box. So it's like consistent in how it works with the ore box, but it would be much nicer if that's not how it worked. Like, we really would rather have you to be able to keep the spirits in the box and save a lot of bank space. And just look here at how many spirits I have for mining. I mean, this would save me a ton of bank space if they made that change for the ore box as well. So that's a pretty big stumbling point, in my opinion, on the update. I hope they make changes to that. Also weird is this empty option is absolutely unusable. It says you can only empty your wood box into your bank. So, I mean, even if I'm standing in the bank zone, which sometimes is a restriction on things to do like this, it still doesn't let me do it. So I don't know why that option even exists, since it can't be used. It can only be used in this bank interface, but there's many things that have an extra right click when you're in the bank as opposed to outside of it. I can't really think of any exactly right now, but like it's been a thing in the past where, does the gem bag have an empty option? Let's see. It does, but I think you can actually empty the gem bag. Regardless, a lot of the times right click options are different within the bank. So I don't know why that option even exists on the box. It was just kind of weird that I couldn't use it. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope they change that the box can't keep the stone or the spirits within the bank, and that would make it a whole lot better. How you make the box, by the way, and it is tradable, so you can probably just buy one. It's only 60 logs of each type, or no, sorry, 60 is not even it. It's 6 logs of each type, but you do need fletching for it, which is important to note. It's just every 10 levels as well for fletching. So the best one is the Elder Wood Box at level 90 fletching. That's what I have here. You just take 6 of every log and upgrade it, just like the ore box. So pretty consistent there as well. And that's, it's kind of cool and fun to slowly upgrade it if you're leveling up. But of course, being already 99, I just leveled it up straight away to the max level and have the best version of it. Other than that, let's see, what else is there to mention? I can't really think of a whole lot for what I think about the update. I do have, you get 1 Imcondo hatchet fragment for free after getting the tier 3 grove if you talk to Oak there. So that's nice. Gives you a little head start. Hopefully I can get the the other pieces before too long. It's kind of been a little slow. Need to get that scrimshaw, I guess. But yeah, other than that, let's see. Is there any other things I want to mention? Oh, they did change the tree level requirements, which I was surprised to see. In the original post, this is. I knew this was coming. Of course, they'd made a post about this last week. But you'll see now magic trees actually got an increase in level requirement. They're now level 80 required. But like something like oak trees got decreased to 10. Willow trees decreased to 20. Teak decreased to 30. So now there's a new tree every 10 levels. Acadias were also increased. Maples were decreased to 40. Acadias increased to 50 from what? From 47, I guess. So there's that. Yews also increased to 70 as mahogany's taking its place at 60, which was increased as well. So it's pretty several kind of increased and a few decreased there. So kind of interesting that they did that. But now you get a consistent unlock every 10 levels in woodcutting, which you know, it makes sense if they want to make it uniform and stuff like that. It's just a little bit taking away from the I don't know what we're really taking away from exactly, but like the quirkiness of RuneScape, where nothing really made sense what you unlocked at what level, where you're smithing rune plate bodies with 99 smithing and you're making a dragon fire shield at like 90 something instead. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But they also made, well, I guess it's just part of the way the hatchets were rebalanced and the woodcutting system works, but a lot of these trees are a lot better XP per hour than they were before now. So like maple trees looks like they've doubled in XP per hour or something like that. Every single tree has gone up in XP per hour, whilst some much more than others, but it's still pretty wild to see. You can check their website for that chart exactly, but yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say for the update exactly. Unfortunately, there is another stupid MTX event, which is giving away, or not giving away, but is adding another new die to the game. So it's just disgusting. These stupid missing, you know, the fear of missing out events where people will just spend money. There's an example. Look at the new die. I think it looks like trash, personally. I think it's really, really ugly. It's like Barrow's die with these weird glowing things on it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, I mean, it's just another stupid parcels from the dumpster event or whatever. Who even knows what they called it this time? I don't even care. But yeah, it's the same thing. And then you can get it's called the soul die. They should have literally called it the sewage die. It looks like trash. I do not like it at all. And yeah, just another absolutely garbage event that they continually do, and it's just pathetic, obvious cash grabbing, and they just and then they don't even add the content to the game after. Like the Aurora die has never come out, and this one I'm sure won't either. It's just absolutely embarrassing how obvious and shameless they are with this kind of garbage. So yeah, there you go. Mentioned that. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that is there was of course the Max Cash update came out, which I was really happy about. That's I guess something I didn't make a video on exactly, but kind of forgot that that it was even coming out. Was it last week or something? But you can now trade above Max Cash on the Grand Exchange. People have been selling and buying rares, so it's pretty cool. And I'm glad they made that update happen. So now you don't have to go in World 2 and deal with scammers and annoying people. So yeah, very, very nice to see that. As far as me, I only just recently recovered from having COVID, so that's why the videos haven't been coming out. I also recorded the commentary for a video for my Hardcore Iron for this account, and then I realized that I'd already uploaded those clips for a different video, so that was really, really stupid of me. Wasted an entire time making a whole video, and then I couldn't even upload it, so should have some more Hardcore Iron Man videos coming out, though, very shortly, as I'm looking forward to making them, and I have them all split up into folders now for which videos are which, and it should be a little bit quicker that way, but yeah, that's going to be it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Woodcutters Grove down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.